Hi guys, thanks for watching. This is going to be my breastfeeding experience story, as well as some tips and tricks on breastfeeding. I hope you find this helpful. I tried to do this in one part along with my pumping video, or along with my pumping section, but I decided to make a separate video on that because this video that I tried to record was already 20 minutes and I had hardly gotten off the ground. And also my poor little guy, he is so not feeling well. He's teething right now and he's just inconsolable when he's awake, so hopefully he stays sleeping so I can just finish this video. Poor guy. He's really taken it rough with this teething thing, and it's been rough on me too. But I really want to get this video done. I've been wanting to do it forever, so I'm going to go ahead and just try to rock it, get through. Hopefully I can do it. So I'm going to start with the beginning. At the hospital I was at, sorry, I should back up here. When I was in labor, I had some complications. I talk about the complications in my labor and delivery story in an effort to save time. If you're interested in that, please go ahead and just watch my birth story, my labor and delivery story, and I talk a lot in detail about my complications and everything. Anyway, we were separated. My baby had to be brought to the NICU right away, pretty much, and I was in the adult room, or the maternity ward, I guess, and I didn't know at the time that I was going to have to be separated so much from my baby, because he had to be in the children's hospital and I had to be in the adult portion, and they were totally in complete opposite sections. So it was really hard for me to try to get down and to feed my baby in the beginning. I was super worried about not being able to see him, not being able to have that bonding that they talk about when I researched it. That was so important to be with your baby because that's what stimulates your milk to come in. And thankfully I had a lactation consultant who really helped walk me through that, to help me understand that, you know, it's better to be with the baby. You know, it doesn't mean my milk won't come in. And then she also brought me a hospital grade pump, and I was using the Medela pump, the Symphony pump, which is a hospital grade, obviously. And so along with going down to see my baby whenever possible, and when I was not, I was using the pump, so I was able to produce a fair amount of colostrum. And my baby, thank God, he latched on right away. He was a very good nurser. Every time I went down there, he pretty much latched on. He would fall asleep, which is going to happen with your newborn. They're going to fall asleep like right after you latch them on sometimes, and that's okay, but you just kind of want them on there to try to get that stimulation, that hormone stimulation, to bring your milk in. So when I brought him home, it was about a day later, so it was a day later than normal vaginal delivery, so it was about 3 days. My milk came in right away. It was so abundant that I actually got blocked milk ducts. Blocked milk ducts happen when you just have an oversupply, or for an oversupply. There might be other reasons associated with that. You may want to check that out, ask your doctor. But I do know that blocked milk ducts, first of all, are very uncomfortable, and second of all, could lead to mastitis, and that's something you want taken care of right away, because that could be a very serious thing. Thankfully, I was able to get my blocked milks unclogged by using a trick that I found online, which was using hot diapers, or a warm compress, but I used a warm diaper or a hot diaper under water, because that retained the heat and the water very well, obviously without dripping all over the place. So it's perfect for this. I would put them on my breast and I would massage them in, and you would massage where the lumps are. So with a blocked duct, you're going to feel like a hard lump. It's going to be hot to the touch, and it's going to be very tender, and it's going to hurt a little bit to massage, but it's going to really help in the end because it's going to start to loosen up a little bit. Then once your baby's on, your baby can nurse out the blocked duct. If it doesn't work just in your traditional hold, which usually they will tell you is the football hold and then the cradle hold is usually what you're going to use in the beginning to nurse your baby. If that doesn't work, you can lay your baby down on the bed or wherever, and then you can lean over and kind of dangle your boob in your baby's mouth, like leaning over, and then gravity kind of helps play a role in that and releasing the blocked duct as long as your baby's sucking to get it out. You'll feel when it comes out, because it's going to be like a big release to you, or feel a big relief, and it's going to feel, baby's going to, get a lot of milk too. The release is going to come, letdown's going to come down like crazy. So, that's definitely something you want to be aware of. that's pretty common, I think, when your milk comes in, because your body doesn't really know what to do with all that milk. So I had that for the first couple of weeks, on and off a couple of times. It is super painful, so if you can avoid it at all costs, make sure you're trying to keep your baby on your boobs to try to keep them drained, to keep them from getting engorged, and also to keep producing milk. If you don't have any milk coming in, it's super important that you have your baby on your boob as much as possible, because you want that to signal your baby to feed from you, obviously. In the beginning also, I did not really want to feed my baby because he kept coming off, and then the milk would go everywhere, and I was getting kind of frustrated. And when I was in the hospital, I pumped, and it seemed to be so easy. So in the beginning, I started pumping as well as I would breastfeed, but I would also pump a lot. And then at night, my husband would feed him. However, when I went to the doctor, after the couple of days that, when you get out, the doctor wants to see you, she said, don't do that, because my baby was going to possibly get nipple confusion, and she said that your baby needs to know that the source of his or her food is from you, comes from here, and not from this bottle. And it's a lot easier for infants or babies to drink milk out of bottles than it is for them to suck out the food. So they definitely recommend, do not do that. I'm sure a lot of people know. I didn't, I guess, realize that. Not to do it in the beginning, but you should do whatever is comfortable for you and your baby, and obviously talk to your doctor about that, whatever's, like I said, most comfortable for you. So I stopped doing that, and then I had no problems after that with nursing my baby, with the exception that sometimes I would get so much milk that my baby would kind of like latch off, because the letdown would be so strong. But that after a couple of weeks and, kind of a lot of practice, even though it wasn't practice, he was really doing the real thing, drinking the milk, it really got a lot easier. It was never really a huge challenge for me to breastfeed, I have to say that. I know there's lots of women that have big struggles and their milk doesn't come in, and there's all kinds of things that can be very, very stressful about breastfeeding. Thankfully, I didn't have too many of those really big issues, so I'm very, very grateful. Definitely, I would recommend doing a lot of research on breastfeeding if you're interested in doing it. But just know that with birth, with labor, with anything, with having a child, expect the unexpected. It might be so easy for you. Might just take to it just like a champ, or it might be very difficult, and you may have to accept the fact that you may not be able to breastfeed for whatever reason. But do whatever is comfortable for you. For me, it was very, very important for me to try to breastfeed my child, and if not breastfeed, pump. I wanted my baby, basically the bottom line is I wanted him to have breast milk, and also having the actual breast milk from your breast and holding your baby while you're feeding it, you're gonna have that bond, and it's really gonna I feel like it really helps you to attach to your child, like I said, have the bond. Feel like you're serving a purpose. I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, you are of course serving a purpose regardless, but it just feels like, I don't know. For me, it just felt natural, and it made me feel like I was extra important. Like, it wasn't just Dad, putting him to bed at night, or it wasn't just Dad giving him a bath. Like, it's something special between me and Amir, my baby, Amir. But it does not to say that you can't do that, bottle feeding your baby or giving them formula, but that's just how that's just something I really value, I guess, that I'm lucky enough to be able to do that. So I hope I said that in the right way without sounding offensive. I didn't mean it in an offensive way. However you find feeding your baby works best, go ahead and do it, obviously, as long as it's safe. Yeah, sorry, I went off on a little tangent. Now, as far as nursing in public, I had a lot of reservations, and I was super worried about how that was going to work out. I didn't get a nursing cover, and I didn't really think I was going to need one, and I don't feel like I need one now. But in the beginning, I think that would probably be very helpful if you're really shy about nursing in public. It's just basically like a blanket with like a string attached that goes over your head so that you can keep a blanket on you. Now, what I did was I used these muslin cloth blankets. This is one of the Aden Anais or Anis muslin blankets. These are very, very large. I talked about them in my Newborn Essentials video. I love these blankets because they're just so many wonderful things about them. What I did was I tucked it in. I tuck it into my bra or my shirt or whatever, and then I would, you know, I would pull my thing down, pull my shirt down, lift it up, the other shirt, and I would put my baby under there, and I just cover it just for extra protection. And these are really great because they're super breathable, so that your baby's not going to get all hot and sweaty when you're nursing. And you know, they do a pretty good job of covering. They're a little bit sheer, but they do cover pretty well. And the only thing is, I felt like when I was nursing, I had to put my head under so I could see that the baby was latching on correctly. So that's kind of one thing that's like, you look kind of funny. You're like struggling under this blanket. I don't know. I thought it looked kind of funny. But that's what I use to this day. I make sure I always have one of these blankets with me, in addition to the one that my baby is using, just to have with them. But I want to bring this with whenever I'm going to be out in public, or some type of blanket. But these are really great because, like I said, they're very breathable, huge, and I really just enjoy those. So that's what I do when I'm nursing in public. The first couple of times was really awkward. It was. And I felt like people were staring at me, and maybe they were, but I just really thought it was important for me to breastfeed my baby, regardless of being in public. And I could have brought bottles, but to be honest, it's a lot easier just to whip out your boob and feed your baby. I think it is. I just think it is. Now, along those lines, what I use for nursing gear. When I was pregnant, I bought just, I think, 1 or 2 tank tops, and then I think 1 nursing bra. And I'm kind of glad that I waited, because now that I am postpartum, I've definitely lost quite a bit of weight, and I don't fit into the same sizes that I used to. So I'm really glad that I waited to buy more. What I use now are not only just nursing tank tops. I bought a lot of the Target Jillian O'Malley brand. Those are really nice. They just clip down, boom, there you use your boob. And I also bought like a couple nursing bras from Walmart that I really liked. They were, again, the clip downs, and you just, you know, pull it down and there's your boob. So those are really nice, but I find that you don't necessarily have to buy nursing bras or nursing tank tops, just something that's very easy to pull down. So what I have, I have this nursing bra underneath, and then I have this tank top. I love these tank tops from H&M. They're super thick, so they suck you in a little bit, and then they're also really easy just to kind of like pull down. And then I also have this bra is one of those as seen on TV type bras. And I'm so sorry, but I can't remember what they're called, but you can get them at Target. They're $19.99 for a pack of 2, and they're just basically like super soft sports bras. They're kind of like sports bras, but they're stretchy, so I can really easily pull them down. And man, I wish I could remember. If I can figure it out, I'll put the link in below of which bras they are, but they're not meant for nursing. They're just like meant to be like a comfortable bra that's supposed to add lift. They come with pads, but I took the pads out, and it's just easier to pull it down. And they're nice, tight-fitting bras, and they're kind of like sleeper bras, I guess, more so than like a typical nursing bra. But I live in these, and I stick the nursing pad in there, and it looks pretty natural. I don't see like a huge nursing line. But, you know, this is more for like a casual day, but if I'm going to be at work or something like that, I will wear one of the structured wired nursing bras. And again, I got them from Target because that's the cheapest place to buy them, and they're decent quality, but I feel way more comfortable in these kind of sleep type bras. They're just without wire. They don't have as much support, but they're just way more comfortable. So I'll wear these or a nursing tank top, and then I'll wear my shirt over it, so that when I'm ready to nurse, even if I didn't have a blanket, I could totally do this, and it's completely covered. My lower is covered. I'll pull the tank top down, and then I'll pull my shirt up, so then basically you're only like exposing like the nipple portion here, and you're pulling your nursing bra and everything down, and your baby's head's going to cover that, so you don't have to worry about exposing yourself. So if you didn't have a blanket, or you didn't want to fiddle with it, because honestly it's kind of sometimes more of a hassle, you could just quickly do that and stick your baby on there. And that's what I always wear every day, and it's in summer, so it's a little hot, but I really find that it's not, unbearable for me to just have on an extra tank top, which anyways kind of helps suck me in, so it makes added benefits. So that's kind of like what I use for nursing gear, and in the beginning, just to make it easy so you don't have to like be fiddling around with like pulling things out and down, just get the nursing clip bras or clip tank tops. When I was around the house, which was in the beginning, I didn't really go anywhere. I just wore my nursing bras, no nursing tank, or I just wore my nursing tanks. I didn't wear nursing bras. I just wore the nursing tanks, and that worked really well. Now, what I did do was I didn't realize that I had to wear nursing pads all the time. So I would wake up and I'd be in a puddle of milk or I'd just like be talking to somebody that came over and I'd have milk going through my shirt. And that was kind of like, duh, of course you need to wear a nursing pad. Your milk's coming in at an extreme amount at a fast rate, and of course you're going to need the nursing pads. So also something to think about, if you're not even going to buy nursing bras, I really don't think you have to spend money on nursing bras, but if it's easier for you, go ahead. You could also get the shelf bras, the bra or shelf tank tops. So they have like the little shelf bra, so they just have like an extra flap of fabric that's tight here so that you, because obviously this tank top is just like plain. It doesn't have anything extra material to it. So I can't wear this alone without having a bra on because otherwise my nursing pads do not stay in place. So think about that when you're purchasing for nursing. You can buy nursing bras and then just wear regular tank tops, or you can buy nursing tank tops and just wear that, or you can buy just regular tank tops for $5 and you can get yourself a shelf bra tank top and then stick your nursing pads in there if you're not going to go anywhere. I mean, that makes life a lot easier. So along with the nursing pads, the first nursing pads I bought were the Nook brand nursing pads, and they were super thin. That's not going to cut it. At least it did not cut it for me. Those are super thin. They're like paper thin almost, and I had no idea the amount of milk that was going to leak out. So what I recommend for you, if you leak a lot or in the very beginning, is to get these. I'm sorry, I threw the box away because it's kind of bulky, but these are the Up and Up brand nursing pads. They're individually wrapped and they're pretty thick, so I don't know if you can see that. That's even folded over, so they're not like super thick where it's going to really be super annoying and like bulky, but they're a lot thicker than the Nook brands, and I feel like they're thinner than the Johnson & Johnson ones. Those ones are a little bit thick, so that might even be a good option for you if you want to do those for when you first have the baby, because you don't really need these individually wrapped if you're not going to be going out. Obviously, I like these because they're individually wrapped. I can stick them in my nursing bag or wherever I need them. So those are really nice, and they're cheaper, I think, than the other brands. But the Nook brands are probably perfect for me now that I'm about 4 months postpartum. I don't leak nearly as much, and those probably would be sufficient for me, but I just happen to have these, and I think they're cheaper, and they're individually wrapped, so I just continue to buy them. So recommend those. Let me see. Now, nursing, there's definitely a lot of questions that you probably will have if you've never nursed before and this is something you're going to be doing for your first time. Always contact your lactation consultant, your doctor. If you need a referral, have your doctor refer you, because they're going to be like your best friend as far as nursing, because you any little question you have, they are, like, I found the absolute most willing kind of staff to help you in this process. They really want you to succeed in breastfeeding. So reach out to them. If you have WIC, they have WIC counselors that will talk to you about nursing. They'll have somebody come out and help you. At least in my state they do that. So I found that a really good resource. Also, there's all kinds of awesome information on the web, the forums. There's just tons of information, and if I can find the links that I use most, I'm going to put those below, because I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but I'll think about it and I'll put it down below. I'll try to remember to do that. So don't give up at first. It seems really hard. It does. You're already exhausted, you're tired, this is a new thing for you. Getting up in the night and having a little person sucking from you is probably not going to be the most ideal, and it might hurt a little bit, but don't give up because it does get easier. At least from probably 99% of the people that I've talked to, they found that once they got through that first couple of weeks, first month, it got way easier, and I definitely found that to be the case. And I know I didn't have the worst time nursing. It was fairly easy for me to adapt, and my baby latched on right away, so I was very lucky. And I know there's lots of people that struggle, but try not to give up. And if you find the nursing's not for you, don't beat yourself up over that either, because it's not for everybody, and it's not the worst thing for your baby. You know, as you're trying to take care of your baby and your own sanity, and you know, whatever works for you guys, do it. I'm not saying that breastfeeding is the only way. It's just the way that's worked best for me and my my little baby. So I'm going to wrap this up here. I'm going to make another video about pumping and kind of talk about my struggles with that, because I've had some struggles with pumping. So if you're interested in that, I'm also going to talk about the bottles we use, other accessories as far as that goes, you know, breastfeeding through pumping. So if you are interested in learning about that, go ahead and watch my next video, which hopefully will be up around the same time as this one. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope I was helpful. If you have any tips that you want to add below, please do that in a comment. Thank you.